Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dargon Gaming Squad. It is August, and that means it's once again time for RPG a Day. And so we thought we'd do something a little bit different this year and invite more of the squad to join us. And so for the moment, we have Cory as well as Nate and I, and hopefully Mary will be joining us at some point. So so we're gonna just try to cover as many of the questions for the first 5 days as we can, and this may end up getting parceled out into multiple videos. So we're gonna see what we can cover and go from there. So the first question is, what do you love about RPGs?
All right, I guess I'll take the first jump on this one. So what I love about RPGs at first was actually the ability to do anything you wanted to, that you can kind of set your mind to. And I always thought that was really cool, especially coming from a gaming point of view, like video games, where you're kind of really set on a track of what the game can allow you to do, either mechanically or story-wise, what they say is okay. Seems like RPGs allows you to do whatever you want. But as time grew, I was kind of getting used to that aspect. And now my favorite thing about RPGs, tabletop RPGs, is the time you get with your family. I think that is like by far the most important part, is you get to have this experience with other people.
Cory, do you want to hop in, or are you good?
Hi, if the phone will let me do so. Hey guys, I'm me, Cory.
So I guess I should take a second to say that Cory joined our squad a few months ago. He has been playing in the campaign that Nate has been running for us, Rose's Request, which I'm sorry is not online. Hopefully our next campaign will be. And so he is one of the newest members that we have on our squad. So welcome, Cory.
Yeah, it's me. What do I love about RPGs? I think the better question is, what don't I love about RPGs? You know what I mean? But like, I got to piggyback off of what I've heard a lot of people say. It allows me to be whoever I want to be. Oftentimes after like pretty, usually a crappy day at work or something like that. And then you get to go to this place that none of those worries matter anymore. Like you can just be the fantastical version of yourself or whatever you're trying to play that day. That's what I love about it. And obviously, as we're all going to say, I love the community. I love the community so much. You know what I mean? I've made some of my best friends in the whole world right now. Hell, I flew 3,700 miles to go to AtCon to hang out with these people. Like, it's become a lifestyle. It's become my first love, and it's just everything, man. Like, it really is. And yeah, that's really what it is. It's all about the creativity and clearly the community, 100%.
Yeah. So I would say I love some of those same things. I really love being able to be something I'm not when I'm in the game. I can be, this kick-ass, tough chick who, just takes people down and doesn't take any crap. And I can be, I can just be so many things, from, just anything fantastical that I would never be in real life. It's really cool. And then, for me, definitely it's the community, the family feeling. And I know, we've like grown, like my group of gaming friends has grown so much, especially in this last year, to where I really feel like I have several little families, little pocket families of gamers that we really have like a kindred spirit with. And so yes, I love that. I love just being able to escape and forget about the real world for a while and be something I'm not. So let's see. Question 2 is, what do you look for in an RPG?
I'm going to have to be leaving here soon, so I'd love to answer this question.
Okay, go for it.
What I look for in RPGs, 100%, is different. I don't want to play the same thing every single time. Be that the same, mood of a game, the same texture, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to play the same theme every time. I don't want to play, you know what I mean? And then you can even get further than that. I don't want to play the same system all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to piggyback to AdCon. I went to AdCon and played 4 games in 4 different systems. How cool is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the greatest things about this thing that we all love, is that there's something for everybody. Yeah. Something for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I get to be a Star Wars character one night, and then the next character I get to be, in the Blade Runner universe, and then we play in some pulpy, real gritty, super survival game, with like Cryfoth. Dip, 99 cents right now. Go get that. And it just goes and goes and goes. And then there's obviously the powerhouse of everything, of 5e. But a 5e game can be 70 million different things and still be 5e. Mm-hmm. And that's what I look for in a game. I want something that's different and challenges me every single time.
Yeah.
Period.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think for me, I had a realization today watching our friend Sam's video over on our friend Sam's channel, Chalice and Chains, of, what really draws me to a specific RPG or a specific game. And it's totally the genre first, the setting second, and then a dice pool system. Like, give me a big old handful of dice. Like, I don't necessarily want to roll dice every 3 seconds, but when I roll, I love to roll a lot. And it's not even about necessarily, doing a ton of damage or, it's just that there's something satisfying for me about that tactile experience of all those dice. And I think I always thought it was just about damage until, I started playing a lot of Star Wars and Genesis, and I'm starting to find that it's more than that. And then, I definitely look for things that are, I think, again, the genre, like, really draws me in. So, I went looking for a Western, and I ended up with Deadlands, and recently Edge of the Frontier, or, I'm really interested in like cyberpunk and or urban fantasy. And so there was Tears in the Rain with the Genesis Blade Runner games. So genre, it's all about finding genres, things that I like to be entertained by in my, outside of my gaming life, whether it's things I read or things I watch, and seeing them brought to life and being able to drop myself into that world and be a part of it for a little bit.
Sadly, I can't say anything about that because all I'm really familiar with is 5e and then more of a campfire version of storytelling. So I'm going to pass this one because I have no idea really what else there is. So
well, maybe what interests you, what do you look for when people invite you to play a new game, a new campaign or session? Like,
okay, I could do that. What I look for is actually then possibly for one, the creativity, freedom to build a character that you are envisioning, or at least the help of having something that you're going to be able to envision into a world. And besides that, I'm not really too picky because I've been in a lot of different games so far that have all kind of bounced around either D&D 5e, 3.5, or 4. And I just like keeping an open mind because I'm so inexperienced compared to a lot of the other people. I haven't really found my niche yet. Yeah. But I'm exploring new things. Like I am going to try the new systems, especially dice pool systems that Chris was mentioning, like Genesis. Is that saying that right?
Genesis. Yep.
Genesis. I'm definitely looking forward to trying that. And then, of course, I played like the little board games. I realize I'm definitely not into board games. I don't really like some of the more kind of like, I guess you call them RPG lights.
Yeah.
They're fun for like cute little events, but.
Right. Got to get you into some Fiasco sometime too.
All right, so staying power. So what gives a game staying power to you guys?
That's interesting because I think, I I don't have a lot of experience in that yet either. I think though, like for D&D and some of these systems that have been around a while, I think there's a couple different things, and I think one of them is support, and just having lots of materials available and keeping it fresh all the time. 5th edition. What has it been? 3 years already? 4 since 5th edition came out for D&D, and they're still keeping it fresh by putting out different books. And they're getting ready to put out a couple setting books that I'm one of which I'm super excited about. I hope it will actually be a book. Right now it's just a playtest PDF, but that would be Eberron. But I think having materials, having new things come out, and or being so flexible that you can do anything with it. So I've heard a lot about Savage Worlds and Fate being super, super flexible. We all know there's a ton of things you can do with D&D. In fact, it's funny, I was thinking about this the other day. I don't think I've ever played in any of the settings, in any of the actual D&D settings. I think every session I've played has been somebody's homebrew setting with D&D. So it's super flexible. It's so easy to just, do what you want with it. Pick your monsters out of the monster manual or whatever, and the different characters out of all the different things that, all the different resources we have. So I really think that's a big chunk of it, like having lots and lots of resources for people. And if it's not that, then I think it's filling a niche. You've got like the White Wolf games that have, werewolf and hunter and vampire, and, those appeal to a certain crowd, right? And and or the flexibility like that Savage Worlds and stuff has of just being able to, you can run whatever you want with it.
All right, I guess it's my turn. So I'm going to read this more as what gives a game staying power instead of the actual RPG, since I think you tackled the RPG question pretty well. So for me, what gives a game staying power is
like a campaign.
Yeah, like a campaign. I think that's what it kind of means.
Cool.
I'm gonna cut that out, by the way. So, but for me, what gives a game, so an actual personal campaign staying power, is going to be heavily dependent on a few factors. For one, it's a group cohesiveness and communication. Having a group that can communicate what they want and when they want it is always going to be really good. And cohesiveness, to be able to discuss times to meet up and being able to stick with it, is really huge on a game staying power. The next is the DM's understanding of how to run a plot. It's incredibly important, especially for DMs to understand, basic storytelling devices such as the acts, how to properly set balance, items, quests, objectives, NPCs, and basically general character progression. To me, I think that's really, really huge for a DM to understand that, and also understand when it's time to kind of wrap a game up or bring it to an ending, because there's no better way to kill a game and games for players than to keep a campaign that should be ending a while ago and just basically running it dead into the ground. And you can see it a lot with a lot of different things, not just D&D perhaps, but this would be really good for DMs to learn for anything from writing books to movies to even just ongoing shows. So to me, I think it's important for staying power just to kind of understand how to do acts properly, so to speak.
Definitely. That's something I need to learn.
You'll get there.
Not so up on that stuff. Corey, did you have any?
I love
on that one.
Yeah, I gotta run.
Okay.
Sorry, Corey.
Guys,
So
that's fun. I'll talk to you guys later.
glad you could join us.
He's at work right now, so.
We can move on to what's your most memorable NPC?
For me, that would be a very, very old NPC. I don't believe the Roses Request game has run into it, but all my other campaigns have. And his name was a character named Quickclaw. And he kind of started off as a little bit of a spoof on overpowered characters and overpowered assassin types. And he quickly became a favorite for some reason to one of my first game players. And then I kept on throwing him in as random, caveats to other ones. And other campaigns were running, and then they also favored him too, because he's like this really snarky, quirky, drunken, old cat person. who could basically mop the floor with most other creatures that you threw his way. So they find really interesting ways to take out really important bosses by having Quick Claw get pissed off at them, either by accidentally like bumping into his drink and blaming it on the guy, and then Quick Claw would quickly handle them, or other events. And then my most recent game, besides Rose's Request, I had my mom play, and she played a character that's very, very, very cocky. And the group ran into Quick Claw, and then she decided to piss him off. And so it was a really hilarious night, and everyone re-fell in love with him again. And they're like, oh my God, you brought him back from years ago. And he's such an old character now. So it's kind of one of those things that just keeps popping up.
That's so cool. We'll have to meet him in our game one of these days. I think for me, I thought I had another NPC in mind, but then I remembered Calcifer.
Oh.
So we have in this game that Nate's running, the Rose's Request game, we have a fire demon that came with this really cool fortress that we got. Well, he actually came with the tent that we got. And he's been with us, and we all immediately we're all fans of Howl's Moving Castle, so we immediately dubbed him Calcifer, and he's been very entertaining. We enjoy him a lot. He frustrates us at times, of course, because he likes to, speak in riddles or not give us information without us coughing up valuable items, but he's super fun, and he just adds so much to the game.
I didn't know you guys liked him that much. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and he adds so many creature comforts too. So yeah. he does a lot of the things that Calcifer does in Howl's Moving Castle. So if anybody's familiar with that, which probably a lot of people are, it gives you kind of an idea. So we have he's just so much fun.
Yeah, basically just imagine Howl's Moving Castle, but instead on a treehouse on what's the staff called?
The Staff of the Woodlands.
Staff of the Woodlands, yes. So it took a lot of creative liberty on that, but it was well worth it, and it's been super fun.
It was super cool. I think it was intended to be the little fortress, right? That.
No, it was first a tent, and then we got the fortress, and then they're like, "Can we mix this with the staff?" And I was like, "I don't know. You can ask the dragon." And you guys did, and then that's how that happened.
It worked. So it's really cool because now we have this treehouse in the staff. When the tree grows, it's awesome. The next question is favorite recurring NPC.
That would be Quick Claw.
Which is kind of, we just answered that. They're one and the same. I guess I could have answered the first question differently if I'd realized, if I'd made that distinction, realized that the favorite are recurring, but I think
maybe they mean like recurring through games.
Huh?
Maybe they mean like recurring through different games. Like, has there been like an NPC that you've seen pop up for you in multiple campaigns?
Or maybe one in a campaign that you see often. I haven't had a lot of campaigns where there's been a lot of recurring characters, so yours is the only one actually where I guess the Edge of the Empire one with Sam, we do have some characters. We have one character that we've visited a couple different times, somebody we work for, but we certainly I don't love her. She's fun. She adds a lot to the game, don't get me wrong, but like she's not a likable character. In fact, my character kind of just wants to kill her.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Wow.
Wants to take her out. So I think Rose would be like my second favorite recurring character. We have Rose, who is he's a regent, and we're actually working for him right now, and he's an interesting character. I know he's not what Nate originally set out for him to be, but he's pretty cool. He seems pretty cool and enjoyable, and he's really the only one that we, aside from Calcifer, of course, but Calcifer is just kind of part of our day-to-day party, I would say, where Rose is somebody that we, talk to and check in with, and so yeah. There may be others later. I guess Balthazar would be another one, but
All right, I guess it's my turn. So I'm not gonna be cocky and take it from my own campaign. So actually, I want to take it from a show that I like, and that'd be Critical Role. And for some reason, I can't remember the guy's name, but hopefully I don't have to be pissed off here for this. But he runs this show, The Invulnerable Vagrant, I think this was called. And he's a super amazing character that Matt Mercer made. And just this super hilarious and very mystical shop owner where the people would walk in and there's multiple clones of him and they all talk in this very monotone way and this very actually eloquently speaking way. He seems incredibly like almost omniscient. Or is it omniscience where you're all knowing? Omnipotent? No, yeah, omniscience.
Omnipotent. Yeah.
However you say it, whatever. But he's like, Matt Mercer created him in such a way where they keep going back to him for one, or at least came back multiple times. I think they see him 3 times and they went back to him. And he seems like this be this really big boost to the party, but he also in this way seems like you're almost wondering, is there something going on with him? It's just, he did the character in such an incredible way. And I'm glad that I can kind of be there to watch that and take notes. So that'd be my favorite recurring NPC.
That sounds pretty cool. I keep hearing so many things about that, and I know, gasp, I don't watch it. Maybe I should. So, all right, we are at 20 minutes.
I think it's perfect.
So I think we're going to wrap this one up here. We may, Mary's supposed to join us in a bit, so we may record hers too, and so there may be some addition to this, but yeah, so guys, if you're participating in RPG a day, we've been asked to remind people to use the hashtag. It's hashtag RPG a day 2018. Share it on your social medias, and whether you blog or whether you do videos like we're doing, or whether you just share your answers on Twitter or something, just make sure you use that hashtag so that people can find what you have to say. And we hope you enjoyed this this segment. And until next time,
get out there and get gaming.